As China's mass detention of Uyghur Muslims in Xinjiang continues, the U.S. government announces that it will halt imports of cotton and tomatoes from the region in its most sweeping action yet to pressure the Communist Party over its campaign against ethnic minorities. The U.S. Commission on International Religious Freedom, also known as USCIRF, estimates that anywhere from 900,000 to 1.8 million Uyghurs and other ethnic Muslims in Xinjiang have been detained in more than 1,300 concentration camps. USCIRF Commissioner Nury Turkel joins me now on Skype. Nury, that is, welcome back. Great to have you on the show. As we reported yesterday, USCIRF has deemed China a top religious freedom concern in 2021. Can you give us a sense of the conditions for Uyghurs there right now?
Thank you very much for having me on. The religious freedom, religious persecution in China has been significantly intensified, particularly since Xi Jinping took power. And it has gotten to the point of a cultural genocide now, a straight-out genocidal discussion starting last year with the report on the forced sterilization of the Uyghur woman. And now what we have is a government built an industrial-scale prison system, as you pointed out, engaging in mass detention, and also using technology to surveil every aspect of Uyghur lives for those who are not in a camp, and then separating about 500,000 Uyghur children from their parents and send them to the state-run orphanages to alter the demographics forever. And finally, this is something that is relatable to people around the world, consumers specifically, that the Chinese government has been using forced labor, enslaved Uyghurs, to produce products, including PPEs, women's beauty products, and sending them around to pollute a global supply chain or economic system. So the scope and scale of the religious persecution in China, in particular against the Uyghurs and Christian Muslims and the Christian Chinese, Uyghur Muslims and Tibetans, have reached to the point of us to focus more on this particular country that the Ambassador Sam Brownback rightly categorized, stated that China is in a war on faith. So the international community should not just expect the United States to do what we can as a government, as a country. Particularly the issue of religious persecution and using forced labor to advance that particular purpose should shock the conscience around the world. I give you an example of what's happening and how bad this is and how massive this particular form of human rights violations can be illustrated. The world's more than 80 brands believed to be using forced labor. That includes personal protective equipment that we are using today during the pandemic. And also most of the cotton products made in China are sourced in the Uyghur region. So during the period of April 2019 through April 2020, the export volume from that region to the United States has increased by 250%. That in of itself shows the severity of the problem.
Well, Nury, there's so much more we can talk about, and I wish we had more time. We'll have to have you back on the show, though. Thank you so much for sharing your perspective. Nury Turkel, Commissioner with the U.S. Commission on International Religious Freedom. Thank you again.
Thank you very much for having me on.